Hey, good morning. It's a Tuesday. I'm not doing my usual Sunday thing. This is kind of out of my wheelhouse. I obviously don't do teddy bears. I just wanted to show you guys this. I was at a Goodwill yesterday, of course, looking for audio junk, and I actually scored a Walmart sold personal DVD CD player, which is really nice for $7. I've been in the house listening to it on a pair of Jensen computer speakers. Um, and I'll show you that later because this personal DVD player has a lot more ability to play an older a CD. You know, you go out and you buy CDs and you open a case and you got to look at the back of them, the actual playing side. A lot of them have scratches. Some have mold on them. There's holes in them. If you have, if you're using a small CD player, like one of those little Walkman types, chances are the sampling rate's not going to be enough to compensate for the defects in the CD. So it'll skip or it'll stutter. But this little DVD player is quite heavy, has a rechargeable battery in it, but it's got 124-bit oversampling on it. So I played a couple of my really crappy older CDs on it, and it didn't skip it at all. So I'm kind of impressed with it. Plus, it's a DVD player. I'm running out of the headphone jack, and I'll show you that later. But anyway, I want to talk about this bear I bought at the Goodwill yesterday, and they had just put it out. And if I hadn't been there when they did that, this thing probably would have been gone in 20 seconds or less. Because there were people like breathing behind me, and I could hear them. But I kind of bought it for two reasons. One, I was going to give it to my granddaughter. She is just turning one. But the other reason I bought it was it's a Steiff bear. And I'm like, wow, you don't often see a Steiff bear in the box, unopened, at the Goodwill for the sum total of $5.99. Maybe it's worth a couple bucks. I don't know. Either way, so then I'm looking at the thing. This thing's made in China. And I'm like, I didn't know they made stuffed bears in China. But I figured, well, it's got the button right there. There's supposed to be, it says it's a Steiff bear. I don't think it was a knockoff. If you look around the back here, it's got that garbage on it. I don't know. See, North America, that's the main office, Steiff USA. The whole nine yards. And in here, you see, designed in Germany by Steiff, crafted by hand in China under quality control of Staff, Germany. All new materials, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I figured, well, maybe they just outsourced to China. Maybe they stopped making production in Germany. Well, here's the deal on this thing. Apparently, they started outsourcing some of their production to China in 2004, and then they pulled it all back in 2008 because they weren't happy, not necessarily with the quality. Their complaint was it took almost a year to get a seamstress up to speed that hand sewed these, and on top of that, they were having to ship them by boat from China to Germany, and there was, I guess, a constraint even back then on getting shipping. So it would take 3 months to get from China to Germany. There was a lot of, I mean, if you're interested in this, you can look it up. There's a lot of financial articles made back in 2008 about when they decided to pull back on their production. But what I wanted to primarily bring up is the fact that, of course, I went up on eBay to see if I could, get an idea of what this thing might be worth. It's never been opened. This book is still in plastic. There's no stainage on this at all. I have no idea where this has been. Somebody bought it or shoved it in a closet or something. It's from 2007. So it was made in a year before they actually stopped making bears in China again. And when I went up on eBay, I could not find a single listing for Steiff bear made in China. All the ones that were up there were German made, with the mohair. This does not have mohair. This has got polyester, but it's actually really nicely made. Now, I don't know a lot about Steiff bears. I'm not going to collect teddy bears, but one thing I kind of got the sense of is the Chinese made Steiff bears are kind of like collector poison. I don't know. The fact that there's none listed, none sold, it's all about the German ones, going back to what, 1902 and blah, blah, blah. Everybody on the listings on eBay is like, oh, it's the mohair one with the, made in Germany. But here's the deal. If you took this bear and you stuck it away for another 10 years, wrapped in plastic, and it didn't get any dirt on it and the box wasn't ruined, it would probably start to be worth money again, only because people would swing back around and go, well, they only made bears in China for 4 years, so this is like a rare bear. I've seen that a million times. And since I basically run an audio channel, a good example I'm going to give you is I have a Stereotech 2000. It's a receiver. It was designed and manufactured by Macintosh in Japan to be a low-cost entry in the Macintosh line. And it didn't sell very well. It wasn't that expensive when it came out. It was like $500. But it's still a Macintosh-designed receiver. And everybody has been turning their noses up at it because I think it was made by Foster, but it was made with Macintosh parts. And I actually looked on it looks just like a 1700 to me, but I don't know that much about Macintosh. But it's like an oddball Macintosh. It doesn't say Macintosh on it. It just says Stereotech 2000. But they're starting to come back around in price. And I've had the one I've had for probably 3 years now. And it's some beautiful shape. I don't use it at all. I've got it stored away. But the same instance would probably apply to this. But it's like people are so weird about what they do. You have to join the group. Okay. If you like something, this is a perfectly nice Steiff bear. And I'm sure if you gave it to a child, they would care less where it was manufactured. But if you're an adult collector, you're like, oh no, I don't want a Chinese-made bear. I want the German one. So is Chinese-made Steiff bears poison to collectors? That's the whole idea behind this thing. I was very surprised. I still haven't identified this bear. I've looked through like 200 Google pictures of Steiff bears from... They made a lot of stuff apparently, because when I looked at the videos about them moving back from China that were made back in 2007 or 2008, they showed all the bears in the background that they were manufacturing this one factory, and it was like 100 different types of bears and foxes and cats and stuff. So apparently they were like churning out the production there. But this is a bear. It's a teddy bear. It's, got the button. It's the whole 9 yards. I don't know. Apparently the arm is jointed. That's supposed to be a big deal. So anyway, if somebody out there collects Steiff bears, please comment and call me full of crap for doing this. I just thought it was interesting. I'm going to go back to doing audio stuff again. It's funny because when I checked out, the woman that works at Goodwill here where I'm at, I've kind of become friends with her. She's been there for like 20 years. She can read the tag. I guess they put a tag on the Goodwill stuff, that the date. Well, it's right here. I'm an idiot. 4/3/23. But that's the first thing she looks at whenever I check out. And she's like, well, they just put that out like an hour ago. In other words, you have to be at the right place, right time in a Goodwill if they're putting stuff out. And I never could figure out, they don't put stuff out like on a Tuesday or a Saturday. They just kind of, I don't know, there's no rhyme or reason for it. If you could get into that, I've been tempted in the past to go, hey, could you keep an eye out for this kind of stuff? But this poor woman, she's a little older than I am. She's really sweet, but she's like the Goodwill monitor, and I think she would think it would be unethical to hold back or call, they just say, here, call me. I live down the street. You see something cool, come in. This is what I'm looking for. She wouldn't do it. I'm not going to ask her. I'm not going to get into that with her. But I was going to give this to my granddaughter, my 1-year-old granddaughter, but she's only 1 year old. And what I might do is I might keep it for her for a couple of years. Children destroy toys. It's really a shame. Since this thing survived since 2007 without getting, in one respect, I'm very much like I keep telling my wife, I'm just treat me like an 8-year-old child, because I get distracted. I'll play with something I get, piece of audio junk or a camera or something. And then after a couple, 3 weeks, you get bored of it and it goes somewhere, and you can move on to the next shiny thing. But that doesn't keep me from appreciating the fact that I actually got something that was halfway decent out of the Goodwill. So, and I'll have to show you that DVD player I got yesterday, because, like I said, I have a pair of Jensen computer speakers I got for free about a year ago, and I plug all kinds of stuff into those speakers. They're powered speakers. I plug Walkmans into them. I've got a 1983 General Electric, one of those personal stereo things that you used to wear on a belt, on your belt clip with the earphones. I plug that into it. It sounds really nice, and I'll show it to you, because if you ever want to cross one of these, you should probably buy it and keep it in use for that kind of stuff. Anyway, I just want to show this to you. Before I go, I'm trying to get my Hero robot working again. It won't talk. I've actually been in communications with a guy that has all the Heathkit robot parts left in the country, and it's called Robot Workshop. So I'm going to have to put a scope on the power board on this, but I don't have a schematic. I'm trying to get one from him. He's got it. He just doesn't know where it is. But I'm also going on a trip next week to see my grandchildren, a 2-day drive, which I can't stand making that drive. I've got 2 of the bigger Hero robots in a shed in North Missouri that I'm going to bring back with me, because they're not aging well up there. And when I bring those back, I might actually just make a video of me picking those up in this crappy shed. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I've gotten a couple more subscribers. I appreciate that. The whole reason why people want subscribers is because the more subscribers you get, obviously YouTube promotes your videos. If you don't have any subscribers, they never promote your videos to anybody, and you keep getting the same stuff over and over again. And a lot of it's like 8, 9, 10 years old now, and it's like, come on, there's new stuff coming out. Why don't you promote some people that are really trying here? Okay, that was my rant. All right, thanks. Have a good day.